Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I do hope everyone's doing well. I'll go ahead and make sure the audio is set up about right. Yep, that looks okay. For some odd reason I can't see OBS showing the background sound, but that's fine. Oh, I hate that window sound. Okay, so before we do begin, then I wanted to go over the actual new patch, which is actually pretty interesting. Let's go ahead and take a look then. Hopefully you should be able to see that. So this was actually released, I think it was recently. And it's quite interesting in fairness. I mean, there's a lot of changes here. There's a whole bunch of changes. Ones I do find rather interesting is, for example, over here, Ben changes to ground combat, including reducing the effectiveness of towed guns on attack, and adjustments to mortars. Also added a chance for indirect fire weapons to participate in haste attacks on both sides. If they participate, their rate of fire will be greatly reduced. That was really interesting, actually. I do find that one pretty interesting. Hey, didn't I? Yakov, good to have you, my man. Yes, and, yeah. There's been a whole lot of changes to elements in here. That's quite interesting as well. I did see one of the developers talks. It's quite a long list. And one of the developers here talks about how accuracy works, which is interesting. So, Gunner uses the accuracy number as a range at which the weapon has an unadjusted 50% chance of hitting. He also has used it times for other purposes, but that's the main use. So that's quite interesting to me. We do note there's a couple changes over here with the Tigers, as well as other armored vehicles, but I can't find the Tigers. Where's the Tigers? Ooh, they're around about here, the middle. But do note that the Gate-Haters had some changes too, which is really awesome. I mean, look at that. So range has been increased from 4.4 to 4.8. Actually increased from 550 to 600. So I think that is effectively the range. Well, I guess this is it, isn't it? It's very interesting, man. I don't know. Let's go ahead and read that again. The number has a range. Actually, the number has a range. Okay. So the accuracy is a range at which it can have a unadjusted 50% chance of hitting. Okay, that makes sense then. But yeah, these guys having their range increased and accuracy increased is actually pretty spectacular. Especially the Pack 4 to 3 there. That accuracy going from 1.1 to... Well, that goes down. Oh, interesting. Oh, 2.1.1. There we are. Okay. And here's the Tiger. Yep. So the Tigers are now more accurate. Especially the King Tiger there. The Tigers also had an increase of front, side, and top and rear armor. At least side as well. Doesn't look like it's a rear though. Very cool. Yeah, I thought I'd just go ahead and take a look at this beforehand before getting started. It's a pretty big list of changes there, really. Pretty big list. It should, in theory, have a pretty interesting effect on combat, really. So I thought I'd just go ahead and show it, just so you guys can keep up with how the patches are going. I was only made aware of it today, in fact. Okay. Let me go ahead and readjust difficulty. And then we'll get right into it. Are you doing that, Peter? I'll just read that in just a second there. I have run about 10 ground strike missions in the AM. Right, okay. Yeah, that'd be interesting. It does make it hard to think about actually starting a new play by email. Like, goddamn. There's quite a few patches as of late. But that's fine. It does make the game better, ultimately. Are you doing that, Null? Yeah, I had a quick look through them, in fact. It is pretty interesting. I did note that apparently reconnaissance aircraft are still taking pretty high losses, and it was quite interesting to see that they were taking losses at even high altitude as well. So it's like, well, that's fair enough, but it's like, well, there's not a whole bunch of artillery that has that kind of range, or that ceiling, I should say. But anyway, we'll see how things go. So we are back once more to the Eastern Front, specifically in the Stalingrad to Berlin campaign, and things certainly could be going better. They could be going worse, but not that much worse. There's not a whole bunch I can do with that. I would like to try and evacuate these fellows over here. We did try previously, but I'm going to give it another go, just on the odd chance. They were unable to immediately transfer before, but Maybe the lack of fuel. Could be something of that nature. That's gonna be rough. Okay. So it is a it is a very, very nasty situation, I will admit. Oh my. How you doing there, Alex? Good to have you, my man. Yeah, they can't move any further. I've moved the actual core headquarters out, which means we are going to take penalties from the command. It may just simply be for the best to have them actually given over to the command of the actual 6th Army direct. At least in that sense, they should be able to draw command. They won't have the same benefits of having a core command, but they will have a command nonetheless. Are you doing there, Sarge? Ah, Rome 2. Nice. Very nice. They played the base game, or you played one of those mods out there? Okay. So we do have a 6th Army over here. We do have Paulus. And he's not particularly the best commander in the world here. In fairness, Matt, I did try to get out. Just probably didn't move as quickly. And with the difficulty settings of the AI, it can mass forces. It's not so bad over here, but I guess it's one of those that I probably should have pulled out when I had the chance, but it's hard to really gauge the AI and its ability to move. Well, differently to a human player. That one's a difficult one. But we can salvage this. Probably. Maybe. We'll have to see about that. I do feel like it is worthwhile to assign additional units to this division. They do have good strength, but I do want to try and make sure that they can hold at just any and all costs, really. If it can make it work, then that's at least something. I don't know if I want to give them a slug battery, but in fairness, if I lose the division, I can always rebuild slug batteries. But if it helps, then that's worth it. Bands is not so much. Yeah. They do need to get out there. No, I think this is it. It's hard to know when is the right time sometimes. In hindsight, I think what I would do is just pull out as quickly as possible, really. I mean, speaking of that, we moved our ground units over here. We do have forces over this way. And I think we will be looking at pulling out a command. But then again, this is the issue, isn't it? It's like, if I don't pull out, am I going to have the time to pull out? Because if we don't start moving... I mean, we do have some forces moving now, but it could be in a difficult... Could lead for make for a difficult position there, really. I think what I might go ahead and do then is have these forces over here, if they're able to at least. And they should all be able to. I think I will have them withdraw where I may. Or well I can, in a sense. Yeah, routing's not ideal. It definitely is not ideal. I was hoping that we could have actually pulled out in a more organized fashion. We'll see what we can do. We do still have options. They're just not as great as they once were. But I think what we're going to go ahead and do then is we do have some pretty decent commanders around here. I also do have 55 administration points there. I need to go ahead and get these fellows into command, really. So what I'll try and do then is have a core moved up. I'll just try and get them so they can actually have a core. Like these fellows over here, towards the edge. That's a long corridor. That's very nasty. I mean, this is not so strong over here, which is at least something that works to our advantage. The river being frozen, but not entirely frozen over here, at least does help us somewhat. They don't have as much strength as they did previously here. Their strength is here and their strength is here, though. That's a problem. This is gonna rout like a son of a bitch. And there's really not anything I can do about it. These units over here, they're gonna die. Oh yes, they're gonna go down. And there's nothing I can do about that. Being unready is perhaps one of the worst possible positions you can be in here. And there's not all that much you can do about it. I think in fairness they're better off there. I just wondered if I should move the German divisions in there. I think, to be honest, I should move the German divisions in there. That one there, haven't been routed, is not great. Oof. I think what I'm going to go ahead and do then is move these forces and switch them around. I think I'd rather have the German forces, even as unready as they are, at least they would be able to potentially benefit from the level 3 forts there. I mean, that's slightly better than absolutely nothing. I guess they can sit on some level of fortification, because honestly it's not going to do them much good, but at least if they have anything that could help them, that at least is something. These divisions over here at least do have some combat readiness. I mean, that's not a great deal. It's really not good. It would have been a much better situation had we been able to keep the corridor open, but the fact that the corridor was sealed twice doesn't help us at all. We'll try and figure that one out. So, alright, let's go ahead and take a look over here then. What do I have there in terms of freight? That's quite a lot of freight. Damn. I'd like to pull back quickly, and then again, this is a question: is it freight? Freight is quite precious, I suppose you could say. That can hold 50k, so it could take that. I think what we're going to go ahead and do then is place these down onto low priority. I do need to bring this freight back over this way. It should naturally concentrate over this way then. I could even have Krasnodar as another point there. Possibly so. I do want to pull. I do want to pull back from this position over here, but it's just that's a lot of freight. But does it matter all that much? I don't know. How do you guys feel about that? Do we just make the decision and pull back to the river? It's not necessarily going to be better. It's not necessarily going to be worse either. That's the thing there. In our current position, we have at least some forts, but we are in we're in contact with the enemy. I do also need to bear in mind that there could be flanking forces out this way, and the time to withdraw may pass us by if we're not careful. If I was to pull back here, these forces could potentially move there, potentially take some slack up, and potentially allow the forces to move to the north. It's an interesting situation, really, to say there, really. I think forces such as Luftwaffe could be moved out this way. It's a tough one as well, because I would like to hold on to this, but I don't know how. I think it can, but I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes to the north. So, next turn then. Yeah. So we're looking at blizzards there then. So we are going to see the rivers more than likely freeze, I'd wager. I mean, what are we looking at now? That's a major river. I believe major rivers freeze completely at 7. I'm not entirely sure how much the river will freeze this turn. That's something I do need to take a look into. So that means that, well, if the major rivers are going to be... they're pretty close to freezing. I imagine the binders are... yeah, they're not far away from freezing either. That's going to freeze soon. I think the binders freeze at 5. Mobile forces should head to Rostov, and the 17th Army should head to the Kerch Bridgehead. I mean, that's a good point, really, isn't it? Okay. Okay, we'll make the decision. We'll pull out of the Kaban. Or just to the Caucasus in general, really. We do have enough freight. And especially when we do pull back. This may actually fall back as well. If I disband the depot, it may just go back into the system. Not 100% sure on that one, but it's probably a wise idea to do nonetheless. It could have potentially fallen back, but I didn't want to see any of that captured anyway. On the off chance it didn't. Yeah, these are kind of screwed anyway. Alright. Luckily, it's not all that much over here. Send them back there. Do I have any air power here? I think we had shifted it to the north end, didn't we? Ah, there they are. That airfield's under threat now. As for how long we can manage that is unknown. That airfield over there could be potentially under threat too, so I'm going to move the air power last. Okay. I do have this division over here that I can utilize. That's for sure. These units are really quite interesting. It'd be quite interesting, in fact, maybe if I was to merge the Cossacks. I don't know if it'd be really a downside to that. They don't really upgrade. I don't know. I guess they're useful as a regiment. I don't know. How do you guys feel about that? It could be a more viable regiment, really. Because right now, they don't really have much in the way of guns. They don't really project much in the way of zone of control, but they still project a zone of control. It could be... I mean, they do have a cavalry as well, so they're quite interesting, because they obviously do have the rifle grenades, which are quite useful. They're pretty lightly armed, aren't they, really? I guess there's no harm in having them as they are now. What's their construction value? Only 4 and 5 there. But I guess there's no... Yeah, I don't know. I'll see what you guys think about that. I'll utilize them to control the rough out that way, then. How you doing there, Clemens? Good to have you, my man. Now, with the Arab Special Purpose Battalion, they do have some armed vehicles in here. They do actually have at least a little bit more in the way of heavier equipment. Not all that much, though. Having the actual stugs in here is nice. I think these guys could be... they might be able to be made into support units, so that'd be worthwhile. Okay. And again, we are looking at pulling back, so it doesn't matter all that much. As long as I control a hex here, they're not going to be able to move all that far. So I just want to get these guys moving out as quickly as they can. And they could actually be of use over here in the north, in fairness. The cavalry isn't going to be able to move that far. So I'm going to get the cavalry moving this way then. In fact, just keep them moving. Okay. At least I do have a ready division now. Right. Now that could be divided. Where's my 4th Romanian? I think we said that it effectively been destroyed, didn't we? Or something of that nature. Okay. The good news is that the Viking can be reformed. I really do want to have Viking move towards Rostov and towards areas of freight, really. There's not all that much in the way of freight out there. There's some stored out that way. And there's a... Wow! Okay, there's a lot more stored up that way. Okay, that's something to hold on to. That's really going to be quite vital in this area. Yeah, there's a lot of freight stored in this general area. God damn, that is like... I keep seeing that like weird spam all over YouTube. There's things that just seem to happen. It seems to be like a trend. So weird. I've seen it on Dojo's videos. I've seen them a bunch. Yes, I'm up on the latest version, as you can see there. We'll see how it works out, really. Okay. It's rough, isn't it? I mean, we are experiencing blizzards in this area, so it's not great for us. I think I'll have the, I mean, the Jaegers would be nice to move out of this way, to be honest. Frankly, it's not going to much matter there. I moved that one a little bit too far to the north and I can't move it now, but that's fine. I think, yes, we'll just get the, it seems like it's working. I mean, I can't say if there's any larger problems, but it seems okay now. I could move panzers over this way, and I think that may be worthwhile doing as we do have stored freight there. They can at least take from that. They are in the vicinity of this area, and it does give us something we can actually play with then. If I could have a unit actually sit on top of that depot, that'd be awesome. And I can get that. So that's actually relatively good for us then. That's actually relatively good. At least I can actually benefit from having that. They don't have level 2 forts over there, but at least I could get that probably up to something of that nature. So yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll do that. We'll move 13th Panzer out that way. That's a really long drive, but they can manage it. There's not all that much here anyway now. Okay. I'm going to have them move towards the actual depot out this way. At least I can move the Panzer HQ out that way too. These guys can go to the 17th or something of that nature. We'll move those shortly enough. Yeah, they can also be further utilized out this way, just to provide any sort of support that we can manage. That division being not ready is not exactly ideal, but there's not a whole hell of a lot there either. Now that at least gives us some forces to work with. I'm not particularly pleased we had to move units as far as we had to there, but it is useful. That's a fairly sized Romanian division. Still not good enough though. At least there they do have level 1 force, but again we do have this issue here. Them being where they are isn't exactly ideal. Not exactly ideal. How you doing there, Tactus? Good to have you, my friend. Yeah, Happy New Year to you as well, my friend. Hope you're having a good one so far. It would be nice to pull out of this area. I wouldn't like to lose these victory points. I think we could potentially do things in such a way as to retain them longer. I think maybe what I'll do is draw up a line there, just spread out some more. That's good to hear, my friend. Yeah, we do have the rough terrain then. I could work towards the actual fortifications then. Which is at least something. So what do I have here then? The Cossacks. In general, we need to get forces moving, don't we? That's a decent infantry regiment. I would like to have. Tender support unit. Okay. There's a Jaeger division there. I don't have... Oh, no, I do have another Silver Stream here. I have one tomorrow doing Armoured Brigades, but I believe the weeks after that I will be doing one of these two, actually, which should be nice. I do, of course, enjoy the game. Right, so we do have a division there. That is rough terrain, which is good to work with. Okay. I think I'm going to go ahead and just commit to this then. Heavy woods is very nice terrain, I've got to admit. I would be better off going like that, really. So at least then I can actually utilize the rough terrain here. And yeah, we can go ahead and use that there and then naturally lead into that. Which works out a lot better, to be honest. They could go even a little bit further, but they can stay in that position there. Not that I'm afraid that they're going to be able to push in on us over this way, but it is going to be a consideration nonetheless. Right, where would we have you then? So I can have you there. Across the river. Nah. That's the fort that's nearly done. That's almost done. Obviously, that's nearly done. Well, that's obviously level 1 though. Doesn't really make all that much of a difference then, does it really? What I could do there is move to that position. Honestly, it doesn't really much matter, does it? I'm going to have them move there. Go for that one. Right, there we are. They can. And the other ones around here will be. Like, what I'll do is essentially just turn down the actual supply priority. I'll even have it set to 0, but having at least some supply supply in there would be a very good idea. But we'll have it toned down. Army Group A would be a very good candidate to move out towards another area there. Right, so we do have these elements. Oh, there's the other element of 4th Division there. Okay. How did they do during the turn? Yeah, see, there we go. They actually drew upon replacement of freight. That's good. Not quite up to where they should be, but at least they are closer to where they were. The question is going to be, do I want to have them march to link up with their division? And I think I would like to have that. I could have them move over here to close by relatively to, then again, that's just it, isn't it? We don't have all that much in the way of numbers. I'd really be wanted to have it move that way. I do have forces moving to the area, but can move more men down here. The issue is not so much men as such, it's just having the freight. And the men. That's always another consideration. That division being unready is not fit for combat. At least I do have a panzer division here to... I mean, it's going to safeguard that better than most things can. Right. They're really... we... Oh, that's pretty impressive. I do have space to work with here. Not a lot of it, but I do have some. Apparently that could be done, but I don't know how feasible that is. I guess it's one of those where I wouldn't really help my position all that much. God, these forces are not in a good position right now. It's probably important to hold that there. I mean, I could potentially have... if I was to go over it... Then again, I don't have that much. I really do not. There's not all that much over here, but it doesn't mean that they can't bring that force down there, and they're likely going to do that. That being unready does not help me out. I don't want to just lose forces either. I can't just concentrate forces around the end of the corridor either. We're in a bit of a tricky situation, really. Because if I reinforce failure, then it is going to end pretty badly. But I can't leave them to be completely cut off either. So I think what we need to do then is just make sure we can actually hold the shoulders, that's what you could say. Like, hold this area. So I'm going to focus on that. I think over here, it's an interesting one, really. Depth is also something that works in our favor, really. I think what we have here then is obviously a light threat, but if I were to deal with this or at least block this, I still have a lot of room to play with there. It's not as easy to do, really. Like, I could move that way, and I could maybe move over here to, like, I mean, I could cut that one off there, which is at least something, but it doesn't really help me all that much. But it does help. Having forces across here then is at least something. But it doesn't really help me out as much as I'd like. I mean, that cavalry could move there, but it can't move beyond that. And it's unready, which is not ideal. There's not a lot of good options here. It can be saved, though. The situation can be... Well, at least it can be stabilized. How you doing there, husband? Oh, I've not seen you for a while, man. How are you doing? Are you talking about that one? I'm just weighing that up. So I could get that hex there. If I had something that could guarantee that, then maybe. I do want that position held there. That's a pretty beefy... that's a pretty beefy division, as far as it goes. The Germans... How you doing there, Cranium? I can spend it every time. I do want to have the German division here to block this, if I can. That is a fair force there. They'll likely move in to cut this off over here, or at least cut that rail, which is not exactly ideal, but that rail only goes up that way anyway. I do have other forces I could bring down here. And just having something just to try and block that as a possibility would be nice. I think what I'd rather go ahead and do then, let's see, so that's 8k. No, I think we can get forces out of here. I'm just try and work out really where I want to have these forces, because we do have some strength over here, like Romanians could be moved here, which is not a lot, but then again we do see a core over here, which is a problem. If I'm being very sure I gain that level 1 fort, but I'm not in a better position, I think what I'd rather go ahead and do then is have something of a measured response to this. I can bring another German force down this way, or something of that nature. May even be, yeah, maybe better to go there, maybe... I think there's okay. If I could have another force around that, Well, at least there's a remaining division there. An unready division is not exactly ideal, but as long as I can actually just project zone of control, try and stop them from moving and taking the depot, that gives me something to fall back onto. That division there can be brought down this way. Yeah. I do have that cavalry unable to move as well, which is always ideal. They can be moved back there. So I can go ahead and do that. That's a call. That's never a fun thing. It does mean that I have to abandon the city, but I'm not going to gain anyway. So if I move there, I do at least then have the Romanians. Okay. That position there, I definitely do want to actually go ahead and... I really do want to abandon that position, because that position is not looking ideal. I could reform that division there. I've only got a brigade man, which is not ideal, but at least it's a better situation than beforehand. The scenario itself, how long is it? It's a campaign, so... I forget how you bloody check how many turns there actually is in something now. There's a few. There we go. So 125 turns it seems there. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and reform the Mountaineering Division there. Okay. 8, 7, and 8. Move you there. I mean, I can give up that hex there, but that hex could be attacked by multiple divisions. Now, I'm going to go ahead and have this actual smaller unit over here just moved over here just to secure that depot. When I say secure, I just mean prevent it from... Well, just prevent these actual cores from being forced to flee, essentially. I do have Hungarian units over here. How are they looking? Spectacular. 16 and 16. And to be fair, actually, that's pretty spectacular. Clear terrain. But it really is... I can't really take it on face value there. What I want to go ahead and do then is I really do want to go ahead and remove assault army status from these armies out here, really. I think we can go ahead and do that. I can bring up the 1st Panzer Army over here. These forces in this remaining area can be assigned then back to the 17th Army, or even to like a army group command. That works fine for me. Having the 1st Panzer does mean that I can do that, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Settings... It's 110, I believe. If I go ahead and... yeah, so 110 over here overall. Versus 100, so they should be moving around pretty freely. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to remove the assault army status from these guys. With a 3rd army over here, even if I have to have them set to the army command, that's still better than 0. But I don't want to have them in assault army status either. It's not a bad thing. Maybe it's a worthwhile thing to actually have. But then it doesn't help me because ultimately the units that are in a position to where they can actually begin to dig in... they're not going to dig in beyond like level 1, are they, really? How do people feel about that? I feel like it might be worthwhile to remove the assault army status. I could give it to something else. Well, I could give it to another army, perhaps. Perhaps where it's more usable. Like the... Oh, gosh, what is it called? Is it the 3rd Panzer? Yeah, the 3rd Panzer in North, perhaps, could be a good candidate for that. Or even potentially the 2nd Army. 2nd Panzer, I should say. Yeah, 3rd Panzer Army is not assault HQ. But it's interesting. They definitely do not have the same problem. A lot of these units here could be moved elsewhere, really. Yeah, there's additional forces I can shift down the line. I think that's probably the best thing I want to go ahead and do before that. We'll see here. You have played several full campaigns. Well, I don't know about that. I played one full campaign. I'm not that well versed on the air power at the moment. It is going through a few changes as we speak, really. And we're on a patch now which has changed the effectiveness of air power. Well, flak, really. So it's hard to say, really. It is hard to say. It is something that I'll be reading upon more, though. But just in general, if you can have the air power, it is a pretty powerful tool. Pretty powerful indeed. Right. Oh, with the other games. Yeah. Well, it's just like anything, isn't it? If you have a tool that you can use against your enemy, then that's always a good thing to actually have. I know that sounds like really silly to say, but it's pretty truthful. Okay, so how far can we actually move with these fellows of here? So they can move to cover this core down here then. What I'm going to go ahead and do then is have the great movement. It does mean that we'll have practically no reserves, but still a better situation than we were in beforehand. But what I'm thinking I can go ahead and do then, if I can shift the German forces down the line, there's not such a great concentration of force barring over here. And if I can actually have the 2nd Panzer Army given the leeway to just concentrate and force that back, I can deal with that. Being able to move the additional German forces down the line would be quite handy too. It should mean that it'll be a better defended line, but it also means I can potentially free up the Italians and the Hungarians a little bit more, and potentially have them utilised over here to once again guard the flanks. It's not such a bad situation. I mean, it's one of those where they concentrate against Stalingrad is obviously horrific, but it is also a bit of a blessing in disguise too, because it means, well, in reality, they could have left lesser forces over here, and the situation would have not been as bad. It'd still been a situation. But had all of these mechanized, all these armored units been amassed in here, that would have been a greater threat to us. The 6th Army, we can probably save elements of it. It won't be destroyed in a single turn. It'll be a painful affair. And ideally we can prevent that affair from being fully carried out. But if they were to drive deep towards like Shalino or something of that nature, then that would be a pretty dire threat. And it's one of those where if they were driving that way, we'd just have no choice. We'd have to just simply pull the hell out of here. Oh, there's a Miss River. Ah, there we go. That's where Gravity Team said then. Cool. I have not... Oh, okay. Oh, just the logistical system, really. Yeah, logistical system. Logistical system, air system. And obviously, it's one of these, but just a combination of one on the west. And just the most up-to-date engine, I suppose you could say. Or just version of the game. I mean, they have to price tag. I mean, I know it's not cheap. So, I mean, you can wait for it to go on sale. Or even just put away a small amount per week or something of that nature, really. But in terms of, like, how many hours you're going to get out of playing it, I'm on turn 4. And I guess I'm a little bit weird back. I spent quite a long time on these turns. But if you think that, like, what's the amount of play, you know what I mean? If you average the amount of, like, if you imagine the amount of hours that we've played so far, then average that out in terms of like a price or something like that, probably be worthwhile. Oh, I like it. I mean, in fairness, it's a strange one, really. Because I can remember when they did give me the key. And I was on the day that it was actually being unveiled on Twitch. I didn't really have much an opportunity to read the manual. I could have done so, but I had classes that day, and I wanted to eat that day, so I went in relatively blind. Did a little bit of reading where I could, but went in relatively blind. So you can go ahead and always watch that video, and you'll get a pretty honest impression of the game, because in fairness, it's like that was me having to learn on the fly. And this is it. Obviously, I've played a lot of Gary Grisby games, but the fact is, if I could actually play it on the fly, most people will be able to do that as well. Which usually indicates that the game is fairly solid, at least from the viewpoint of playability. And I did enjoy it, I still enjoy it. Yeah, that's a good question to ask, really. I'm not entirely sure how to answer it. I guess that's the way I'd probably honestly answer it. Okay. I do want to get these forces shifted. That 8k could be... These 8ks in general could do with being pulled off, but we'll see. Right, what I'm going to go ahead and do then. I want to go as far as I can here. So we'll go there. And you're unassigned right now. Okay. No, I mean, I'm just trying to be fairly honest about it, to be honest. I hate saying to be honest. Okay, they can go into there. Right. The reason why I did that is so I can actually move the cores down. At least when able. So that's 16 mobility. 16, 15. Okay. What I'm going to go attempt to go ahead and attempt to do here then is reconsolidate. Oops. Okay, I do have that swamp there, which is pretty nice. The light woods I could live without, but even then, the light woods is pretty good. But at least with this, I can actually bring forces down to this area to make a stand there, which is actually pretty impactful. I'd like to have some forces with some strength, in fairness, but that's not always a easy thing to draw upon. Ah, that's really not an easy thing to draw upon. God damn. That's really not. Oh god, okay. So I got the level 2 fortifications there, but actual light woods. That's worthwhile. I do want to reinforce this position here, really. Well, this position in general. So, what we got there? What's that offensive? Right, so I've got 19 there, which is actually pretty good. Combat preparation is effectively... It's like how... you could imagine it in a number of different ways. It's like the progression of the planning of a division, how much time it's had to actually plan an attack, how ready its forces actually are. It's like obviously having just munitions stored and prepared, really. Just having everybody coordinated. There's a lot of different ways you can define it, but it's effectively how ready that division is to fight an actual battle there, really. Okay. Speaking of this division, though, it's not a great position. There's not much in the way of opposition here, though, in fairness. I mean, I could attack, and there's reasons why I'm not attacking. The fact that I don't like to attack during winter, because I always feel that it's just not particularly best. I prefer to fight defensively during the winter, because obviously you can try... And it does depend, really. It really does depend. I just always feel like it's using additional munitions, and I don't like that. How you doing there, Georgie George? Yeah, there you go. Okay, what I can go ahead and do then. This corps... Yeah, so they belong to the Panzer Corps there. Oh, Partisans is actually a hell of a lot easier. That's a pretty nice change. Oh, that's one of the big changes there as well, the theatre system. But yeah, for example, just have... Oh, that's pretty nice. I need to take a look at that. But yeah, just have enough in the actual garrison. You can have more of a garrison, it will help out. But yeah, just... It's a hell of a lot better than the whack-a-mole than it used to be. Leningrad, I mean, this is it. I had a couple of comments asking me about that. And I guess I'll look towards organising for offensive and across here then. We'll see how that goes. I could have done it from turn 1, and I guess had I done it at turn 1 would have been more successful, but yeah, we'll see. Well, that was a good comment in all honesty. Right, so I'm kind of thinking here then. Some of these guys aren't in the best position right now. How you doing there, Who? Good to have you, my friend. Yeah, so we have Odessa. Goddamn asshole. You damn ass. Okay. I'm just thinking here, really. I really do like that swamp, I've got to admit. I must admit, I do have a rail out here too. Issue is I can't... Oh, I can build a depot there. Oh, that's excellent then. What do we have here then? So we have swamp. We have the light woods there. What I'm thinking of going ahead and doing is So I don't like how this is developing. I think I'd be better off by, just better served by moving forces across here then. I can take advantage of the actual swamp. I could even actually build a depot on here, which is awesome. Then yeah, have those forces push across here. I can actually bring more men down that way then. That'd be worthwhile. Oh, okay. So, in fairness, not too much has actually happened. We'll go ahead and move that there. We've had a movement. We've withdrawn a couple, well, a fair few miles over here. I'm just trying to move forces down the line now. Forces over here I need to decide what to do with, really. The strength that they do have is actually pretty amazing in comparison. So I do want to try and seal this up over here relatively well. And then I want to move forces elsewhere. The issue is I don't really want to be moving panzers during the winter. I mean, ideally, to be honest, I really would like to try and just send panzers to the reserve if I could, but that's not easy. How you doing, Arthur? To be honest, tanks are great, but I'd like to have like an infantry division with just guns. But I mean, this is the second winter, isn't it? So it's not as bad as the first one. How you doing there, Roman? Typhoon. Oh. Yes, it is. Well, the thing is you can't ever build a depot on anything other than a rail line in anyway, so you can certainly go for it. But yeah, having a depot out here, even a low priority depot, does mean that it will draw some freight. But it means that divisions within 3 hexes, effectively 30 miles, can use their horse transportation to draw from that from that depot. Divisions will draw from multiple depots. Though it depends. I mean, they have a certain range. Like this one's drawn from our rail over here. But you can see that of the 25 freight requested, 16 of that was actually lost there. You can see the MP there. So it's actually pretty expensive. If I go ahead and find like another example, they may draw entirely from a rail. Yeah, so you can see a rail there. They received 2174. So yes, obviously that is a happy Panzer division. Yeah, look at all that freight there. That went to actual replacements. That's also something you want to bear in mind as well, is that things of this nature will suck them dry. Which is not always ideal. I swear to God, do I have like... I can't seem to remember how you send units back to reserve, unless some sort of rule's been changed there. It does feel like I can't quite do it at the moment. I'm just not seeing that... I don't know. I forgot where the button is. Have I forgotten where the actual button is, or we're just not getting that option? Has there been some sort of rule to that? So it does feel like that. Okay. So I do have that division as well there. So they're part of that call. Okay. What do I have there? Lightwoods too. Right, let's go ahead and get these guys moving. Are they in the same call? They are, actually. Okay. Ooh, that kind of scuppers me a little bit there. Any advice? In all honesty, I'd say this across most games. Don't worry about it and just play. Because you are going to develop a lot of experience from actually playing the game. It doesn't matter if you're going to win or lose. It really doesn't matter in the first actual game played. Because the most valuable thing you're going to be gaining there is experience. And after that first game, it doesn't matter if it's a turn, 2 turns, 3 turns, or what, you're going to gain a lot of experience. And that really is going to help you out in the next game and the next game. And each time you'll refine what you've learned. So my advice really is, you can look up guides, you can look up different things of that nature, but sometimes the more you read, the more it sort of, I'm not that bloody, I'm trying to figure the word, I don't know. I'm not that literate today. But yeah. You can kind of get into a situation of where you have, oh, that's the word, isn't it? Paralysis of action. I forget what the actual term is I was looking for. But essentially, the more you read, you can sort of find yourself lulled into a paralysis of action. And you're like, right, okay, the more I read, okay, that's cool, that's cool, that's cool. But then you sort of feel that you don't have the actual particular skills to do that. So what I'd say is just do it. Just do it. There you go, it's Cranium saves there. Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, the game's definitely changed how you play this. There's a hell of a lot more considerations to be made. Partisan activity is not just whack-a-mole. It does make it. It's like a fresher breath. Sorry, a breath of fresh air. I can't speak tonight. I was thinking how I want to go ahead and do that, so they can remain there. I can't move entirely as I would have wanted to, but I guess I'll go ahead and hold that position for now then. Not ideal, but I can still make it better. I just don't like that. I would like to straighten this line out a little bit more in all honesty. But abandoning the level 3 fort to move one hex over here isn't exactly ideal there. So I guess I'll go that way. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I mean, if you're not entirely convinced, just wait for a sale or something of that nature, really. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and move that division there. Oh yeah, the logistical system's fun. I do like that. Could do with a reserve in this area. I'm just not convinced it's... I don't know. I don't like this division in the ship when it's actually in. It's fatigued and it doesn't have combat prep. But then again, neither do many of these guys. Oh, we got there. Light woods. Light woods. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna... Yeah, I know it's gonna feel bad. It's gonna look bad. But I don't want to stay in a position just because I have fortifications. I know that sounds like a great thing to do there. Oh, I don't know about what plan, actually. But the reason why I'm moving back there is because I can establish a better line to work with. I'm not having to then and ah about this. I just want to get it done, really. And that's a pretty damn important thing there, is just getting that thing done. So I could move along the actual river line there. So I've still got the defensible terrain. The river's not entirely frozen, but at least it's still... Well, yeah, that's it. It's not far from freezing. I could move them back to the swamp over here. If I could move them further to the south, I would do. And they can't move all that far. Okay. I guess I'll go for something like that then. Hey, did now, Phileas? Have I accidentally got it listed as one of the Pacific? I'm a little bit worried now. Okay. You're effectively a floating division then. I'm going to have you moved over there. Okay. Whereabouts is my depot? I'm going to go ahead and have a depot established out here, though. Or about that position would be quite nice, because at least I do have a swamp in front of it then. So we'll go ahead and set that up as just a 2 then. Yeah, that's actually really quite good. I do have a free core. That's actually really quite good. Okay. Ah, yeah. Wait, if we want to go ahead and talk Eastern Front immersion, let me go ahead and get it up. This is one I'm still learning at the moment. No music? Is it not playing? It is. It should be playing. Like, in all honesty, whoops. Like, it is here. Can you guys not hear it? I did think that was weird. Oh, that's why. Oh, that's why then. Okay, that makes a lot more sense now. Yeah, it's been playing this entire time. I've been able to hear it. I'm glad you said that there, Lost. I mentioned it earlier on, but I didn't investigate it, did I? There we go. We'll go ahead and load this up, man. There we are. Ooh, I need to go ahead now. Load. Let's see. Where's my Barbarossa? Yeah, there we go. Barbarossa campaign setup. Nothing's coming? What the hell's going on? No, it should be working now. It should be working. Like, see? Yeah, should be working now. No silence? Really? Oh, fuck, I don't know. And this is ready to load, but it is. I need to make sure I've got the settings correct on that. I need to give more RAM. Oh, I'm getting errors there, actually, aren't I? So I need to set that up properly later on. Oof. Okay, I'll take a look at that later. Ah. Oh, it's working now. Oh, pfft, I don't know. I'm gonna have to go and get... Yeah, that seems to be not be working at the moment. I need to set that up properly later. Oh, so much for that one. But barely. Hell. Okay. Yeah, it's been weird. Oops. I was going to show that, but that's not working properly. Anyway, we'll move on then. I'll show that game in the future then when it actually works. I need to get that set up properly again. Okay. That's a bit of a detour there. Okay. Where am I lacking? That'd be useful there. Okay, so they can go to the core nearby. Okay, so you guys can actually hear it now. I can't believe that was the situation, wow. I did think it was weird earlier on, but I just did not investigate. Learned a lesson there. Learned a lesson. Okay. Now, if they could shift further, that'd be ideal, but I can't do it too much there. Yeah, there's SS divisions. They're not on... Well, there's not many of them on the map at the moment, but they are definitely a thing in the game. Right, 57's quite a lot, isn't it, really? But now to have a reserve in this area would be quite ideal, too. Yeah, I'm European. Which feels weird to say. No, I'm English. I did feel... I felt weird to say. I was hoping I could actually move more forces down here, but I'm not going to have that luxury. But at least I do have this situation a little bit more in hand now. So it's the damn units when they can't move. Let's see. Yeah, they could do... this is a thing as well. I'd like to be able to rest these divisions. You don't often get that chance. At 18 is not exactly great. At 50 is pretty great. 17, 9. 18 is actually relatively good in this area event, but I do want to move that there then. It's going to be kind of weird. I'm going to have to reorganize these here. Right, they can go to 12. They can go there. Ooh, the 11th Army. Where's the 11th Army again? That's 18th. That's 17th. I don't think I actually have an 11th Army. Let me double check on that. Oh, I tell you what, I can go over here and actually double check that. So, let me see. I do want on map, actually. I clicked the wrong one there. Army. 18th, 17th, 16th, 9th, 8th Battalion, 6th. Yeah, we don't have the 11th Army on map right now. You're talking about the level 3 fort. No, that's not a bad consideration, really. But they don't really have that ability to move now. I mean, this is it. It's like, this would have been a nicer position to hold, but then again, I would have been one hex further to the north there, which would have meant additional divisions being required. I'd rather just have them in this position. I know this double stacked, which ultimately defeats the point to a degree, but I can't have it both ways. At least I'm moving in the direction I need to be moving in. I need to have a straighter line rather than a deeper line, I guess. Okay. So, got 53rd here. Oh dear, that's pretty funny though. Well, they're not open, really. I mean, we've got to take a look at what actually is here as well. Had there been like some larger cores, then sure. We can't just remain in a position forever just because it's got faults. We can rebuild those. I'm going to be falling back. I mean, what I would have wanted to have done is if I had the MPs to fallen back over here. And that's going to be coming. They still have it like woods, and they have the numbers now. Don't worry. Now let me go ahead and reorganize them. That's 53rd now. How am I looking here on the actual command? So I've got 2nd Panzer, which is... 2nd Panzer... Yeah, oh, okay, so 2nd Panzer's already an assault army. That's okay, then. Add that in plans for the spring and summer of 43, yes. We just need to get there, though, really. Yes, I see. 9th Army could actually handle some additional men there. It's quite nice. 4th Army then. Yeah, so we actually have an interesting situation then where some of these armies could actually go a little bit further. What I'm going to go ahead and do then, it's a bit of a weird situation here. So the 53rd goes round. I'm going to have you given over to the 53rd. Right. Then I've got the 35th here. They can go ahead and join the 35th. I'll take some of that pressure then off of the army there. And then everybody over here fights on the same... Well, within either the same corps, or at least the same army. Alright, we'll go with that then. That does help with the capacity over here. Okay. Yeah, now, let's see. I was hoping to move more divisions down this way, but I couldn't really get that. Which is a bit of a shame, though. We came under attack them previously, so they came under attack previously. How are they looking this turn, then? Because that's a lot of artillery, and they are in clear terrain. They're looking relatively okay. We have seen guard divisions here, then. Alright, mechanized corps. Regiments. Yeah, that'd be interesting. That will be interesting. So I've got 33 over here, then. I would really like to get a Panzer Division shifted south. That being that 66 AFVs is not a lot. I'm not a big fan of this. Oh, that city there is not ideal. Still having locked units is not ideal either. Ooh, those being assigned to the 2nd Hungarian Army is a big no-no. Okay, that corps can go over to the 2nd Panzer Army. This corps here, then, can go to the 2nd Army. Or not. Oh, I hate that. Ooh, we do hate that. God, okay. I could do with a corps there. I think I do have a spare corps somewhere in the area. That one can actually handle additional men too. Okay. There we are, I told you I had a corps. Might not be the best commander, but at least I can work with that. Not the ideal solution, but it is a solution. So I don't really want them under the command of a Hungarian army there. And that's a Panzer Corps. That would be really quite beneficial elsewhere. Very much so. God damn, I can't even transfer your units out there. It's annoying. Okay. So I'm looking at the 42nd Division there. What I'm interested in doing here then is just making sure that the Rosenesh, or whatever you want to call it, is able to be held. So I'm not super confident in the 38. It's urban, which is definitely helping out, but that could fall, given just weight of numbers really quite easily. So what I'm going to go ahead and do here. Right, where's your division? That's a 387th. I could shift it up so we have another division here on the line. Fairly reasonably. Yeah, these two divisions over here could spread out across 30 miles there. So I can make that work. Okay. Righto. Yeah. That gives me divisions in this area then. Yeah, now we're at 83. Doesn't mean that this area actually around the city is any more likely to hold, but that sounds like a great to see a rifle corps there. Again, not exactly ideal. It's really tempted to take that division up there. It really is, because it would help. But I can't be afraid of one Soviet corps. It still has to cross that position. Damn it. Okay, I know that seems like a giant waste of time, but what I'm going to go ahead and do here... Okay, so that at least helps us out somewhat. What I can go ahead and do then. Move that one back there. What I got there? 57th. Okay. Another element of the 168th can move there. That can move there. Ah, damn it, but that's the clear terrain, isn't it? Oh gosh, I'm making a right arse of this. Right, so not ideal, in all fairness. Probably gained a little bit of additional fatigue there, but hey, had to work with that. Well, it can't be perfect there, Milo. It's better than what it was beforehand. I'd rather this buckle than lose the city. At least the city's not likely to fall, and the city may actually soak up that attention. Doesn't help that I can't move anything else. Damn it. Okay. I do have a city though. They can drive a fair while, which is, well, fair distance, which is nice. Do I have freight stored? I got 705. Maybe worth it to go to Kharkov. mean, Kharkov can handle a lot. I just need them to be moving towards this direction if I can. But saying that, I don't know if that's going to really help me all that much, but then again, it is nice to have divisions head that way. I mean, frankly, what would be better to do then is have the motorized probably move out that way. Them being less hungry would be nice. I do have the logistics in place, per se. Pretty difficult decision sometimes. I'm not a big fan of this here. Now the Hungarians, they at least do have some panzers. That's something. See you later there, Tactics. Have a good one, my friend. Okay. I'm going to have to probably move them here. Need to maintain that. They're not in the greatest state of their lives, are they? Okay. They can move there. I hate they don't have an undo button there sometimes. At least I can find the same command though. That's not ideal. That's not ideal. That's really not ideal. Oh, great. Okay. I really could do with... I'm going to have them assigned to like a high command of the area then. Yes, I do have a couple more cores out here. I really need to build capacity in this area. Is that rail line? No. It's just, it's deaf because we have the one rail line there, and I have the one there. They're just not great. As you guys can imagine. Those aren't being really utilized right now. Okay. Okay. Yeah, this is the Stalingrad to Berlin campaign. Unfortunately not. So we are stuck with the 12k freight there. Which is why, in all honesty, I'd rather retreat this way. But this is like where they're likely to fall back to. So this is not as much out this way. Yeah. Building fortifications. I mean, this is it. We can't quite build fortifications. I don't really have that much on the way of men yet. What I'm going to go ahead and do then, I'm just getting into the position where I can move the Panzer Army. It's a shame I can't have it like on a depot, so that's where I'd get the most good out of it. If I had it there, at least I could build that capacity somewhat. Yeah, that brings us up 20k there to 30k, so at least that's something I can work with. Excuse me. Okay. Right, so then I'm to Army Group A. How far can they command? 45, yeah, so an actual army can manage it relatively well. So I have von Mackensen here. So 7s. Okay. I'm going to have you go over to the 1st Panzer Army. That takes them up there. Right, you can handle additional now. And where's my 6th Army? Oh. Oh, okay, it's here. I was thought for a second it was there. That'd have been really bad. And that's with Von Paulus. Okay. 19. Oh, he's such a bad commander. Okay. It'd been a good idea to remove him earlier, really. 6, 6, 7, 7. Well, he is a solid 7. I can work with that. He is expensive, though. Jeez. He's not. 8 morale. 5 are mechanized. Oh, 8 and a 7 there. Again, expensive, but not as expensive. Yeah, I can live with that. And he looks quite dashing, in fact. That's quite dashing indeed. The reason why I've gone for a superior command in terms of these stats is because I'm going to have forces that can't reach a core assigned directly to the 6th Army. As at least then they're within range. In theory, anyway. Okay. Might cause the AI to somewhat overreact. How you doing there, Frank? Good to have you. Oops, didn't mean to do that. I think the Soviet AI doesn't have issues, or there's something about that. I've never played as a Soviet, so I have no idea really. I don't think they have issues as severe or anywhere near as severe as what we have. Could of course be wrong on that. Well, they have the benefit of interior lines, really. But yeah, rail is a massive thing. I do really want to hold that. I know it's not going to hold, but if I can actually have something there. This ain't going to go well. Yeah, it's things like that there, really. Okay. That ain't gonna go well. Ain't gonna go well. Oh, they still considered out of range. Oh, it's 15, isn't it? Damn it. I love what you're saying there, Milo, but I don't have that capability. I know it seems kind of crazy, but I just do not have it. It'd be nice, I've got to admit, but I just really do not have that right now. Hmm. Are you gonna battle with these guys? They can't move right now. I can move that way. And if we can get panzers down here, but at the moment we don't have that. Still our pioneers. Yeah, no, it's really great, isn't it? Oh, thank God for that. It's just not going to go well, is it? Yeah, it's not going to go well. Oh, yeah. That sounds like a lot of fun. Almost. Ah, it's going to be a shit show. I think really what I want, and it's a difficult thing because I need freight out here, but Kharkov can definitely manage it. What I'm kind of thinking of doing is taking the Panzer divisions, but rather than having them sent straight there, is have them move to a position where they can actually build up strength, but away from the front line, if that makes sense. Against the Kharkov, it does have a lot of rail connections, so it shouldn't impact on it too much. But I do need strength. I do need to build these panzers up. And I think if I could have them built up at I think I'm going to go for Kharkov. At least then it can actually draw decent amount of freights in a city, so it should be alright. It gives us something that I can work with, but I'm going to get them moved out there. Keeping one here. I've got them. I've got additional forces. We've got what we need. I'm going to move it there to Kharkov. Yeah, I do have a depot there too, actually. I'm going to take them off of refit. I don't want to have them draw more. They're going to draw anyway. But I don't want to have them draw more than is really required. I don't know, actually. If we take a look at it this way. That's a very highly stressed network. And I do have these depots here. It's not really a lack of rails in this area, because I do have quite a bit to play with. The political status is just essentially like, I think it affects on how likely they are to be promoted, but for the most part, for most people, it's just going to be like how difficult they are to get out of their position, because obviously their political connections really, as the more politically connected they are or astute, the harder it is going to be to get them out. Oh. Not just that, really. I mean, connections within the Wehrmacht, just connections in general, really. Yeah, well, if you want to take a look at the multiple, you guys have a look at that. You wish there, Simon. In fairness, we're not too far from the end of the turn. It's one of those where I could probably do more, but I think just in the interest of getting the turn done, we'll have it go ahead shortly. It's only really, whoops, ow. It's only really up this way. Hey there, Trotsky. Thanks, man. Okay. The political one, I'm not entirely sure about, really. Would I recommend Pride of Nations? In theory, yes. In theory. You can definitely play the game, but it is going to take about half your lifespan. But the game works, it's just, I don't know if anybody's ever got to the end of it. It just, yeah, it takes a long time. Doesn't mean that it's a bad game. There's really not that much in the way of strength there, is there? There is here, however. Let's see. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of there. I don't know why I have the two cores there. Seems a little like asking for it sometimes. Hmm. Now, I did say I'd not tried to take advantage of the AI, but I'm kind of in a position where I'm not really, I'm not exactly the curb stomping them, am I? I do need to try and draw their attention elsewhere. They would not like that. I really would like to fall back to that position there. I'm going to have them begin to dig down if they can. Then at least I can build those. I'd lose that rail line, but is it active? No. It's not ideal because of this effort. Yes, yellow brochure. Okay. They should, in theory, be able to handle that, but I'm not that convinced. But I guess we'll see. That's nice. Nice when things do work. Not gonna lie. That's a slim chance. Into heavy woods does not look like it's gonna work. Well, I don't really want to have panzers in there. That's the problem as well. Yeah, but it's not that many tanks. I wanted to get them moved out this way. Well, moved away, really. I mean, the turns have changed. Issue is obviously the AI is moving its forces. I'm just not entirely sure where. I'm gonna get this wrapped up over here. Get the infantry. The issue is I've had to pull back these infantry, so this situation will be sorted enough soon enough, and then I can move them down the line. So they're just here temporarily. They're not that strong. Yeah, they're German tanks. There's just not that many. Not really. I really want to get them pulled out of the area where I can, to be honest. Okay. What's that terrain? Light woods? Yeah. Yeah, like 48 is not long. See if I can surround these guys. Okay, one, not bad. Trying to do is like get them in a position where I can pull them out. So next time we can have the infantry move down this way. It's a shame I can't cut that off entirely. That'd have been ideal. That does make me feel a lot better. Okay, that's awkward. That's a very spread out division. That's 1 32nd, sorry, 32nd and 22nd. 122nd. There we are. Ah, no. Okay, we got that. Well, that'd be handy. I just need to really get them sent to reserve. That's really what I'm trying to aim for. And in fairness, having less tanks on the map isn't that much of a hindrance. It's more so I need to get the freight out there than anything else. I reduce the TOE of the actual divisions across the board. So it does mean I have less than men, but it means I'm also not stressing the network as much. At night 15. I'm going to go ahead and get them moved to the map then. I know they're not, I was considering leaving them, but I want to get them out. A quicker way. Kind of be nice if there was a quicker way to do that. Yeah, those construction battalions are going to come in very, very, very freaking handy. I do have a Luftwaffe field division there. Should be due. I think the 5th Panzer Army comes in about 2 turns or so. That took a lot longer. Right, if it's at 100, we'll send it to the map. Obviously, they're not. They definitely are. They're going to be quite useful. Okay. This guy over here is quite cool. So against these stuck 3Fs, also does have quite a few 75 Pack 40s there, which are nice. Once they're nearly there. I do actually have the 26th Panzer Division there, but I want that to refit. I do have them here. I cancelled their transfer. They can go ahead and go to the map now. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and send them to the map too. Okay. Oh, that's handy. Hey, doing that north. Subunits, it's just the headquarters, isn't it? Well, I've transferred just the headquarters, everything else should still be there. I'm sure there have been any good out there. Can't transfer them anywhere else, just go there for now. There's even a bit more. Hate that one. Howdy. How many should I have in there? I'll have a look at that. I feel like I can not quite zoom in enough now. I know it's with the new, yeah, it looks like it's not quite displaying properly. So I should be able to see the numbers. Unless I just misremembered them and then actually you've always been here. Ah, so it's a possibility. Next turn I can have them assigned to the map. Or I can even have them assigned to the map now, in fairness. Not hurt them to rest them another turn. Let's go ahead and check out the Italian box then. Sorry, the North Africa. I am going to take those tigers. Can't take the division, but I can take the tigers. There you go, Nod. Could take these other units as well. I'll just leave it as this for now. That's a relatively small one, so I'm gonna nab those. Oh, hell yeah. I just need them. But we can certainly make use of them. They're gonna be really quite handy. Yeah, I'll be right. Italy, not so much. Feels like it's messed up because there's no fighters here now. They actually benefit in the garrison. I always wonder about that. I don't seem to have any other position I can move them to. Yeah, that's that actual number there. They should be okay. And that can go to the map. These are weirdly small units. I don't know if air has an impact, actually, but the first time I've ever seen it, so... I'm just going to get them into the garrison then, and I have no idea if that does make a difference, actually. I've never actually ever tried. But it'll be easy enough to transfer them to the map, if I can anyway. I will be very interested to see if it does do anything. I'm going to try and get the Italian forces back to Italy, actually, when I'm there. They can go to not the map, apparently. Okay. That's bizarre. I guess we'll see how that goes. Yeah, so... Exactly. Exactly. He doesn't need them. He does not need them. There is just the tigers over here to the north I'd like to take. Just have them go to OKH for now. So I kind of do want to have the tigers concentrated and just have them utilized in this sort of area, really. I'd be quite interested to have them. This is going to be a shit show. Honestly, I can only but hope it's not as big of a shit show as it could potentially be, but it's going to be a shit show. And it's sure going to be a show. Not much I can do about that. I'm going to run the turn, and then I'm going to go do some ironing. That's the highlight of my life. Alright then. Hang on a sec. Oh, I almost forgot. Oh, I was like, wait a minute, I forgot something. But an elephant never forgets. They just get even. Civil War 2 if you want a game that runs like butter. Never had an issue there. What? Yes, you do that. Oh yeah. Yeah, Civil War 2. Obviously enjoyed To End All Wars as well, quite a lot. What the hell is the size of the airfield there? 2 and a 2, okay. Yeah, Civil War 2 is a great game. To End All Wars is also a good game, but can also crash. But it's fun when you play multiplayer. Civil War 2 runs like... essentially, Pride of Nations is what Pride of Nations wishes it was Civil War 2. How am I not fucking do the thing? Fucking do the thing! Am I doing something wrong here? What the fuck am I doing? Oh, there we are. Okay, yeah, so... it's gonna be a total shit show. And I can but imagine it going poorly. I could do more. But I don't think it makes that much of a difference. And I'm lazy. This is gonna be bad. We're in such it was an okay position last turn. It felt okay, it looked okay, but it wasn't okay. Why is this? Oh, there we go. At least that's the way it felt. But it was a lie. Yeah, I know, right? Oh, the game won't crash. Don't worry about that. I just tend to read something on the news or something of that nature while I wait. Oh dear. Okay, moved in to take a depot somewhere. How do I? Oh, I technically control that hex, don't I? Of course. Okay. So that means that they're technically cut off. So I got what I wanted anyway. That's alright then. Not gonna be isolated this time, but at least it's gonna make them feel isolated from their friends as well. Oh, so that depot they captured, was that the one of the south there? Yeah, it won't crash. Never had a crash with one of these two. At least I don't think I've had a crash. I had loads of crashes with War and Vs, one in the end. That pissed me off. Does seem to take a while, but I do wonder if that's maybe due to changing patches. I don't know. I don't think it is. I just think sometimes it just takes a while. I could probably set the game to a higher priority. It's not like a lack of cores. It's like an Intel i9 10900. It's like 10 fucking cores. Oh, can hear horses, can hear carriages. Sound of the apocalypse. Ooh, bold. Okay, let me just speed that up a bit. I'm so very glad they're attacking Novolkov. We're just going through the turn here, Trotsky. It's only really just got into it, so you haven't missed anything. Ooh, shot down 14 of that aircraft. 10 there. The fire squadron in the air is actually doing a pretty damn good job there. They're pressing fairly heavily now. It's quite funny. I don't know what it is, but it's like you always look at the number to the left. Oh, it's not going to go well. Nah, fuck me. Yeah, there we go. That's broken again. Well, at least they routed out. That's the best we can hope for there. Shad's not exactly great. Ah, fuck me. Yeah, it looks like routing out is going to be the best we could probably hope for. That... God, it's just every time it's been cut off there. That's the problem. They retreat, okay. Didn't help when I had panzers. I had so many panzers lost due to river retreats. Should have pulled back sooner. Alright, that motorized Holden's okay. Okay. Not liking the losses, but at least the units routing out there means they can survive another day. Ah. I have become Dojo. Oh, okay, that's probably the best thing I could have hoped for at this point. I'm a group dot's not encircled. Just if they did not attack that at the end of the corridor, would have been a better thing. Well, historically, they like were forced to surrender. So, is it worse than historical? It's certainly not. It's not quite as bad. I mean, actually having some divisions route out there is like something. Oh my god, we've got 2 Milos. Yeah, so. Wow, they lost 100 of the 103 tanks they had. I lost fucking hell, that was a beefy attack there. Yeah, no, right. Or are you? I'm surprised they haven't opened that up. Like, we attacked into that, but I didn't expect the statue to remain encircled. How you doing there, Alex? It's beautiful. Well, in fairness, it's, I don't know. We'll see how the rest of the turn goes. Oh, are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? Oh, damn it. Oh, that's annoying. Oh, okay. Fuck it, I called it as well. Remember when I said, oh, they're probably going to attack the Rosnesh's, most likely. And it fucking happened and they rout. God damn it, it was a full division. I reinforced it. Damn it. Well, that fucking made everything I did there just entirely goddamn pointless. I can't believe it fucking routed. Ah, that's what I said as well. Fuck. Fuck. That's 10 VP I wanted to hold on to. Fuck. Ah. Well, you guys saw it. You saw it. I tried to reinforce it. And I did reinforce the fucking thing. Double fuck. Yeah, that's the issue, is attack from so many sides. Ooh, smoke with the neighbor. That sounds pretty awesome, man. Yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing there, Trotsky. Like, there's nothing to be lost there. It's all gone, man. But those divisions being routed, the Yasser lost a lot of men, lost a lot of guns, but they can be rebuilt. I do need to get the 3rd Panzer Army, like, actually somewhere useful. It's I don't know, it's not gone great, I must admit it's not gone great. I really put a lot of the blame on the fact that Panzer divisions were pushed across the rivers and that caused them to lose more men. That's not great. That's not great. It's all gone. We had to nuke it from orbit. It's really hard to tell whether they're going to have, well, launch an offensive because they can shift their forces more freely across the line. That particular area of there has been fairly pressured. Telegram even cuts off. Oh, man. Well, all in all, I mean, like, the routing was... Oh, that's bad. Not so bad, but they maintained form. I do want to fall back to that swamp. Well, I mean, this is it. In fairness, it's like if we actually do have a divisions, we are in a bad position. Maybe there's no more attacks this turn, and maybe we can get them out. I do not know, but we'll see about that. But so far, it's not gone great. It's ended a hell of a lot sooner than it did historically, but again, we didn't try to hold out there, per se. I've just definitely learned a lesson. Don't get smart, get your shit out. Yeah, I'm gonna have those. I am looking forward to having those, like, assembled. Our position's gonna buckle soon enough. Oh, well, that's pretty impressive. Ooh. Yeah, that was fair concentration force there. I don't know if I've got a actual garrison or not. Yeah, that's not ideal. When I do lose a position like that, we are... Right, that holds, which is good. Yeah, what we're going to have to do then is just, rather than hold every hex, you just go to the hex to the 4th star and then just, like, form up into larger units. Well, they're going to be around there anyway. But if we actually have the divisions and the formations, well, the actual divisions, it means I can actually put new blood in them. Ow. Goddamn winter. I mean, they're taking losses, but again, not ideal. But as long as I have something to actually... Like, if I have, like, a hex with forts and then no hex and then hex with forts, I can still maintain a position around there. It's when you lose, like, 2 hexes there, that's when it starts to fall apart. Can't believe how badly that went now. I mean, we are definitely going to lose the initiative, but that's okay. We can retake it. It just means we can't ever outright win, per se. But, yeah, I guess if I'm the win team. Which we can do that. Yeah, that's it, exactly, Trotsky. Well, the Italians actually came out relatively well there. So obviously losing those forts means it is going to get worse. Likely that, yeah. But it's getting better. We do have forces shifting south. It's not in the game, unfortunately. Okay, it's not over. That's a lot of Ratwood. And they do take a lot of attrition there, but let's see if they can get out. Oh. Ah, that's painful. That's painful. We may be able to get the rest of them out, though. I know it looks really bad having lots of routed units, but I can actually have them head back to Stalingrad and actually have them build back up again. Which is probably as good as it's ever going to get, I must admit. There's going to be a whole fuckload of angry Soviets coming down our way, though. I must admit that one, too. I think spam accounts getting weird. It's just online, okay. What does that even mean? Oh, I didn't look at the stats, actually. Ah, okay. I mean, technically it was surrounded by an isolated division, which is hilarious. Well, not division, but you know what I mean. As you say yourself there, Trotsky, they're unrouted. That means they're still in position. As long as they're still there, that's okay. They're really there for the zone of control more than anything else. Now, ideally, I can actually open up the corridor again. And I can actually try and get some assets out. We do have a lot less to try and get out because the Soviets had help. Well, they've aided us, I should say, by kicking a bunch out of there. I'm just not very happy about Rosnesh having fallen because that was like... I think that kind of sucks because I lost some victory points there and that sucks. Okay. Is it actually? You never know. Is it actually now? Has everybody been taking the piss all this time? So I've not looked it up and I don't know about. It just sounds too hilarious to be true. it is pretty fantastic though. Okay, so things will begin to stabilize to some degree now. I just can't believe how many victory points we lost that. Well, losing those. Losing that city wasn't ideal. Oh, okay, it's the official mod for the game. Got you. You know, the best part is I do ironing after this. Oh, how joyous. How joyous. But I do have to bring it up, as I have to shield myself. If you guys would like to spot myself as a content creator and actually get something in return, I do have my Until the Cherry Blossoms Fall prints actually for sale. I think it's £20 for the A1. Think that's an okay price. Down 33% on discount, and I do not have the file anymore, so what I have left is effectively all there ever will be. But yeah, I mean, if you guys want to spot, it would be quite nice. Plus you get to frame a really nice print. That always helps, right? Sure, yeah. I'll go ahead and bring a picture up. I could put it on Patreon actually. I'll show a picture of the print. I just actually do not have... It's actually rather amusing. I actually do not have the original images. Which I don't know where I can find them. Ooh, actually, that's not too bad there. 31,252. 762 guns, not great. 122 AVs is not great, but could have been worse. I can sign them. I mean, I can have shitty handwriting, but I can sign them. Yeah, here we go. I'm going to show you a very professional image now. It's actually not even the right freaking... How'd I change the orientation on this, baby? Okay. So this is an image I took the other day. And as you can see, it's so very professional. I don't know how I can rotate this. Just turn your heads. Turn your heads. And that's how you can get it down. Oh, if you just email me. Or just go into the actual Discord. I should probably set up as a page on option. That'd be a really good idea. I haven't thought about that one. But yes, I'm not entirely sure how many I've got left. I'm going to have to do a count, but there's not many. But yeah, it's from the Haruna days. So it's pretty nice. But it would go a long way in supporting the channel. Plus you actually get to frame something. Don't worry, it doesn't come with the glasses. Those are special. Fucking hell, if I was having vodka shots of these, I'd be fucking paralytic. Oh dear. Yeah, that's my image. I designed the goddamn thing. I had a artist draw it, but I designed it. I do have another print in the works actually at the moment. Let me go ahead and bring that picture on. I only have one initial sketch here to begin with. Yeah, so this is the first sketch of the new print in development. I will get an update on it in the near future. But this is what the new print... I mean, this is going to be the general base. It's this essentially, I asked the artist, okay, just give me like a sketch of what you think you'd like sort of have it look like. We kind of figured maybe having like a vehicle or something in the background too. Essentially, it is going to look a lot like... Is it that one? Not that one. There we are. Yeah, it's based upon this image, and that's kind of what I'm going to be going for. So I'm going to see if I can have maybe like a truck in the background, or maybe like a sod gun, or something like that. But that's generally what I'm aiming for. I'm just looking for like a print that evokes just a very somber image. I don't want combat. I never feel like combat's a good thing to have in a print, really. So I always think it's better to have it up to the actual imagination, really. And I think it's always more respectful of the period in general, too. So I think if you have like combat, I don't know, it kind of makes it like a video game. Whereas I think it just being somber, quiet. You can imagine this. You can imagine almost like the footfall in the snow, that sort of thing there. Yeah, thank you very much there, Trotsky, for saying. I'll go ahead and make it a Patreon option. That'd be a good idea. But yeah, we'll go ahead and take a quick look here then. Ooh boy, they're not the greatest day. Okay, so depleted isn't dead, and I did ask a question a while ago about how it affects them. Their morale's relatively good, but yeah, they're going to have some time to recover there. You know what? Actually, this situation maybe isn't entirely foobar. Well, I mean, that artillery division finally gives me an opportunity to attack, but yeah, generally it's not that bad. I may be able to get some of these forces out. I may be able to do that. If I can bounce that effort out of there, that'd be handy. What did the Soviets take in losses there? Yes, they lost 74,000 men, 108 FVs. Not quite as much as I would have preferred. They are taking less losses, but they're still taking a fair number of losses. Obviously, I've had my highest losses so far. But not bad. We are making them pay, just not as much as I really need them to. So I did have a Romanian unit shattered, so I will have to deal with that. But in fairness, that could have been significantly worse. That really, 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 really could have been worse. If I can get more of them out of here, then that would be really quite a victory. I may be able to go ahead and just like link up over that way and try and just, yeah, pull back in that sense. It's just that being consistently broken is a problem there. Yeah, well, this is it, isn't it? It's like we're in a difficult position as it is at the moment. They haven't, yeah, so they pushed forward over here. So it looks like that depot of seas over there, but they haven't pushed forward that quickly. Again, I'm not too particularly happy about losing the city over there. Does mean that we are pretty far away from let me see, where is it? So a sudden victory is 500 points. Yeah. Ah, there we go. So it's to seize the initiative there. That's not ideal. So we need to prevent them from getting 500 points, I do believe. Yeah. That's tough. That was tough. Let's go ahead and take a look at this then. So essentially I want to just retire the 6th Army out of here. I mean, some of them are actually able to fight, which is actually really quite good, but they don't really have... Well, they have some movement, actually. That could have gone significantly worse, actually, and that went relatively well, about as well as could be hoped, to be honest. The Panzer divisions in this area have just taken massive hits. Yeah. But we may actually be able to salvage the situation, so that's pretty good. That went a whole lot better than I actually thought it would have. Alright, so the garrison's shortage in Western Europe is not ideal. Yeah. Oh yeah, look at that. They recovered quite nicely there. Oh, I say nice. I expected they'd taken more of them, but they didn't take on all that much. I guess it's the issue of just obviously getting the panzers in there. That's cool. And they'll actually be upgrading their TOE in 7 turns there. Very nice. Yeah, so see the amount of Panzer Grenadiers. Well, the fact that they actually have the Panzer Grenadiers in there. So it becomes truly armoured and mechanized. I have Panzer Pioneers, but I have majority motorized. We have more motorized, less motorcycles, so they become the Panzer Grenadier. And then obviously some of the Panzer Pioneer. More flak. Yeah, self-propelled guns here too. Panzer heavy MG sections, very nice. Yeah. So it looks like we're moving. Yeah, but then we'll get Panthers standard. That's cool. Okay. So I do have that Luftwaffe Field Division. I'm going to go ahead and have that sent out to Western Europe. Oh, we have a middle cavalry regiment. Very cool. A brigade would have been nice, but it's the same. It's under control, so that's fine. Oh, we actually have an SS battalion here. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Now, how does that affect then the garrison over here then, now that we do have our power? It looks like it actually does contribute, so that's actually quite interesting there. It looks like it did in fact go up, so that's pretty interesting. Never really taken that into consideration there. Yeah, another new division has arrived. These divisions are marching across. We have the arrival of these guys over here. Oh, hello. Oh, that's okay. H4's 5th Panzer Army there for a second. Yeah, I'm surprised the AI is a finicky ether. But I will force these guys to surrender and be done with that over here. I'm going to take advantage of that where I can. Right. They really could do with actual construction units being assigned to them, help them dig in. As soon as possible really would be a very good idea. Yeah, they've got a fair amount of construction value there. Okay. Then they can be shifted up over that way. Okay. They pushed us back over here, which wasn't ideal. And we're in clear terrain now, which is not great. This could be awkward. Yeah, it would be. They do have a fair concentration force there. Yeah, I'd actually forgot to put a garrison in there, so that could have gone poorly. That's fair amount, man. That certainly is. Yeah, losing that city, though, wow. That did not go well. That really did not go well. They shifted a lot of men for that. How are we looking on the TOE? Yeah. So, strength for those is around about what it was anyway. We'll go ahead. We'll take a look at the actual trucks. God damn, they have so many guns. I'm just really happy that we actually managed to get... I mean, I say managed, it's like, it was just pure luck that they didn't just surrender or anything of that nature. But at least them getting out of there was a pretty big deal for us. So I can go ahead and do that. So we take a look over here. Vehicle pool then, if you guys want to take a look at when we looked at beforehand. Because I can't recall. I forgot to look at the actual numbers here. I was looking at vehicle and units for some reason. And that was like 248, but I could be wrong. Probably lost quite a few vehicles that day. Now, rifle squad. Yeah, the good news is that, also because we did reduce the actual TOE, we actually do have a lot of rifle squads in the pool, like a whole fucking lot of them. Yeah, so if I take a look at active pool, it says 1781 active, 1975 transit. I'd have to look that up, but I think that means that they're moving out. So you can see that's a whole lot of rifle squads that can move out there. It is interesting actually, because we do have it over here in the west. Yeah, these guys are still up to full strength. It's a pretty interesting concept, isn't it, really? I mean, like, we have essentially the full German division over here in Western Europe. And then over here in the east we have... I do love the fact I can see more on the screen now. Yeah, it's like, so obviously in the west we have the full strength divisions, and then in the east we have basically 2 third divisions. And that, I don't know, I mean this is it, it's like I could increase the actual TOE, but then it's like, I don't really benefit all that much from it, because the issue is then I'm trying to get so much freight out there. I think what I might do over time, or at least during the actual summer, is like rebuild cores on an individual basis, or potentially, or I think probably just rebuild armies. Like the 6th Army could be a potential one to rebuild, but yeah, it's an interesting one. It doesn't really seem to have hurt us, really. I suppose it hurts in the sense that all those men that were in those divisions on the front line, that could have meant that they might have been able to withstand something. Or maybe what I could go ahead and do is like have divisions in particularly important places have their 2E's actually authorized at full strength. That might be some way, but then again, it's one of those issues as well. Again, maybe in the first term, what I should probably have done then is reduce it to about 70ish, or maybe a little bit less. I could have gone for 80. I could have gone for a lot of different numbers in fairness. I don't know. It certainly is what it is. That's for sure. Yeah, those guys being shattered wasn't ideal. Nor them. Yeah. And that's why they returned to the pool, essentially, isn't it? I imagine. Okay. Well, I mean, this is it, Simon, isn't it? I mean, I've lost the initiative now. Well, we'll have a think about that. I might make it a choice to just... Yeah, if you guys actually want to see pull out, just tell me what you think. If you think it's worthwhile pulling out, tell me. I'd like to believe that it's transferring oil to us, but it's like... I mean, we could go for something of a defensive orientation. The 17th Army just holds on to these for now. It doesn't really hurt us all that much. But again, it's one of those that doesn't help us either, does it? I'd definitely do a lot better by having the 75 just pulled out, really. I could leave a number of forces over here on the Kerch, and that'd do well enough. Yeah, well, yeah, that's also the thing, isn't it, at the end of the day? There's no point in holding if it's held tenuously. Yeah, no, I think we'll go for that, then just pull out wholesale, then. I think that's probably the right decision. So that rail line was cut there. Bit of an issue. Yeah. Be nice to seize that rail junction, though. Okay, so we'll go ahead and call it here. I've got a lot of ironing to do. I will go ahead and update the actual Patreon. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna reorganize the Patreon actually and get rid of like all these stupid options and just have like some clarity there. That'd be a good idea. That would be a good idea. Yeah, I mean this is it. It's like in terms of what's actually here. If I go ahead and take a look at the actual. I mean, we've got industry over here. I kind of wish that they'd add more, but I mean, in reality, the German forces really wouldn't have been able to gain industry. I mean, it's like, who the hell are going to get to work in? Oil's a different ones. It's priority. But yeah, I mean, this is it. It's like it could be retaken. It could be retaken. I think we go for that. I mean, even over here at the Kerch, I actually have resource production, which is something. To make our... Yeah, I guess we'll go for that. Yeah. We'll have 17th Army go north. Some forces over this way. I don't need all that much over here. But certainly something enough to stop them from crossing would be a good idea. It does mean that this area is potentially open to invasion, amphibious invasion, but we can have relatively light forces to hold that. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's it as well. It's like, if I was to hold my cop, I've got to protect this rail line as well, then. Can I even see if that's moving oil? When it comes to production. Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah, as you say there. That rail line going through the command into towards Stalingrad is not great either, is it? Trying to think where it would come under now. Say resources there. We're not seeing oil. Oil's a weird one. I'd have to look up how it actually works regarding oil being moved, because it never feels like it's actually moved from Minecraft. Maybe you have to have it repaired or something, but I'll have a read of that. Yeah. Yeah, there we go, initiative switch to Soviet player. So yeah, that was a shame there, so we lost the initiative. Wasn't much to be surprised about, but I guess, really. Okay. But yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting in the future, so thanks for watching there, ladies and gents. Hope to see you again in the future. I do hope you're all enjoying having the new monitor. There will be another upgrade to the channel in the near future, and I think then after that, I think the next upgrade would probably be maybe like a superior microphone or something of that nature. Just try and keep the quality just consistently high, and go for that. So yeah, take care, stay sexy, and stay